Attention, please. The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Welcome, sports fans. Welcome back to another very special live. I'm your host with the most, Joe Meyer.
I'm Rush.
And this is This or That Sports TV, the place you guys come to get the best, most interesting and everything sports topics, discussions, and debates on the internet.
Yes, people. But before we get into today's live, don't forget to like this one. Leave a comment and subscribe to This or That Sports TV. And do one more thing first, though.
Share the video to at least 10 people, but ensure to get to 6 subscribers, because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, you know how many subscribers that get us by the end of the day, people?
One whole heap. And schoolboy football is drawing to an end. Them say all good things must come to an end. Bro, this season, before we even go into the... We see your face away a while ago. What you saying? I believe in that?
No, I look, bro, and see how much people up on the live, dog, and that kind of just...
I say it go sometime. I say it go sometime. We are ramp up back. Them say all good things must come to an end. First of all, what you say? I say it go?
Yeah, bro, everything must come to an end.
Eh.
But sooner or later, it must done. So
I
you
don't
have to
lie.
do that while it lasts.
I don't lie. But watching the people, schoolboy football, the finals will be taking place tomorrow. The Waka Cup finals and the Manning Cup finals. And we're talk about it. Do a little preview, do a little recap of the season, and give you guys some predictions and our opinions on what will happen tomorrow. You see? So, on the season, bro, how you feel like this year's schoolboy football season going?
It was a very interesting season. Last season was the Whisper Show. This season was parody. That's what I think the theme of this season was. It was much more equal. There definitely weren't as many powerhouses as we've seen last year. Now, last season was a more talented Manning Cup, but I think this season's Manning Cup was about the teams and about the coaches rather than individual players, which was the case last season. It was also a season of upset, but as I said, parody and just great distribution of talent. In this year's Manning Cup, I think that was the...
Yeah, it was definitely a more even season. And when I think about any season would have been a disappointing season if you think about what it had to follow.
Yeah.
I say last year you talk about the talent that was in the Manning Cup. It was just ridiculous, and not often you're going to see so many teams with so many individual players that can win a game on any given day. You think about Whisper, Shaquan Satchel, Romeo and Blake, all of those players, Dan Hugh Mitchell, top players who a lot of them right now are pros. I say, literally have one gone to Chelsea. We have someone play in Belgium, all over the place. Romeo and Blake in America, Shaquan Satchel in Europe. So the talent last year would have been hard to follow this year. We know that never did happen. But this year, as I say, I actually agree that the talent across the competition, especially after the first round, it was a bit more even. It was an even competition, and maybe that's what led to the upset, because a lot of the teams went into some of these fixtures as favorite based on pedigree and name. And we saw where some of them just get upset because the talent is spread around. Some of them get shocked. Teams that we expect to do a bit better or to show their pedigree just didn't show it. Some teams were toothless. And we're here to, before we even get into the finals, just real quick. Obviously, we have to probably do a virtual awards this year. But these two teams that are in the finals right now, is it that they're somehow up for surprise team of the season, especially one of them, which is so weird?
I think the surprise team of the season is already decided.
Right, but me I say it's weird that you say surprise team of the season in the finals.
Mona can't be. Mona can't be.
Hydel is the surprise team of the season for me. Hydel is the surprise team.
I'm a surprise team of the season already out there. That done decided by Hydel already. But Mona, that can't be a surprise that Mona is here. Mona were my favorites coming into the competition.
Mona a big side at this point, but me I say it's weird.
But definitely the surprise team of the season, there will be no surprise in that award.
Yeah.
That award has already been allocated.
So weird. And,
Sure.
and that show you that coming to the season, a team that you expect to be alright, they are somehow in the finals, and we are calling them the surprise team of the season. How many times you see the surprise team win the whole thing? You get me? I say, because to be fair, it's a team that you don't expect much from.
Yeah.
You're going to give the title a surprise team. But this team, from the first round, you will put them up there and say that they are one of the best teams. So
I think surprise team of the season would have been done and dusted from the first round. I think Hydel would have won that from after them beat Excelsior in the second leg, after them beat JC in the quarterfinals. I think at that point, surprise team of the season would have already been done and dusted. I think that award is probably the last season. Player of the season was the most obvious award. Mm-hmm. Player of the season was the most inconspicuous award last season with Deshaun Richards. I think the most obvious award this season is surprise team of the season. Hydel, not a team renowned for football, not a traditional high school in the traditional sense of the term. But they definitely came out and they definitely were well coached, and they have one of, if not the most outstanding teams in the competition.
For sure. But before we get into the Manning Cup finals, let's talk about the Walker Cup finals, which is actually the Manning Cup finals of last year.
You can title this video "All Roads Leads to the Walker Cup," or will that be disrespecting the two teams?
No, we're not that. Because we are gonna take. During that, we are take part in the slander of the Walker Cup. I'm not really.
Yeah, but the Walker Cup forget slander.
Just leave the Walker Cup alone, Bridget.
No, the Walker Cup forget slander. What do you mean? I'm all about slandering the Walker Cup, but my issue to that would be to not give respect to the two teams that do the work to get to the Manning Cup finals. But the Walker Cup forget slander.
So the Walker Cup finals is Stats versus Jamaica College. Mm-hmm. Again, may I say, these two teams were in the Manning Cup finals last year. They were in the Champions Cup semi-finals last year. First of all, how this happen? Let's do a quick recap. How them two teams here end up in some would say the Losers Cup final. How that happen?
They lost. like that's how that happened. Hydel, KC got beaten by Hydel, and KC got beaten by. Stats got beaten by KC, and then Stats ended up losing to Wolmer's. And for all intents and purposes, that's how they ended up in this Losers. People keep on telling me some unprofessional. I'm a rude for calling this World Cup the Losers Cup. It absolutely is the Losers Cup. And I have no qualms or apprehension in saying that. And these two teams did exactly what is required to get to the World Cup. And that's qualify for the Manning Cup second round and then not make it to the semi-final. And that's why they are where they are right now.
Yeah, and see, I understand that and actually agree. It's hard to look at this competition and not call it Losers Cup. You literally have to lose to make it to the competition. That is not even just the teams that qualify out of the first round. That's not it. You have to qualify out of the first round and then lose in the second round. You have to lose. You get me? I say so. Maybe if them did set it up a weird way where maybe alright, you never advance out of the first round, but these two teams that didn't advance make it to the World Cup or whatever, it would have a little bit different. But you literally have to lose, bro.
You would have to lose in order to get there. In order to not progress, you would have to lose in the first round.
No, it's fine. Yeah, but me I say you don't have to lose. You don't have to lose a knockout game for God here. You get what I say? It's so weird. So I feel like
teams now have to lose a knockout game to get to the World Cup. Stats or JC never lose.
Yes, not Stats or JC, but they lost in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, they lose a group game.
So if you're Stats, what's your mindset right now? Obviously, Philip Williams for the last 6 years has been to the semi-finals and the finals, not managing to win the Manning Cup. But if you're Stats, if you're in this team, if you're Richard Livingston and Alexavier Gooden and Philip Williams, if you are the Department of Sports or the manager responsible for the Manning Cup team, what's going through your mind if you're in this program?
From everything that I've heard, apparently the Stats team is one of the most organized and well-funded football programs in the nation. And it shows with how they prepare, it shows with how they are tired, and it shows with the caliber of players that they manage. Right? Now that is said and done, if you fund that team and and it's not yielding any results, that's going to lead to anger and dissatisfaction. And I think though Philip Williams, though it is said that Philip Williams is one of, if not the best coaches in the Manning Cup, something has to say, or something has to be the reason why he not get across the line. And this season he never not only gets across the line, he was absolutely humiliated. Managing to not even get out of the quarterfinal stage, which before this season seemed unheard of. That seemed like an impossibility. So is it that something have to get shake up in the stats program? But them still have enough ball up. The money still a spend by. Them programs still are one of the top programs. And the next thing too, when I see stats in the semi-final, them for the under 14 and under 16s. When I see that neither I've been following, keeping tabs on those competitions, and we must have 2 teams, 14 and 16. I'm gonna see a team for stats. That's scary. Stats managed to retain 2/3 of them team from last season. Losing only a few star players, keeping almost all of them core. Losing, I think, probably their 2 best players, maybe. Definitely their 2 best attacking players in Reed and Satchel, but still maintaining their whole defense, their best goalkeeper, their best and probably one of the best central defensive midfielders in the competition. A myriad of riches and wealth, in youth talent that would have gotten a year older to boast of the team and still not managing to bring it across the line.
Yeah, it rough.
Good.
No, it rough and
It look good.
Look good, but the thing is, a fine margins, bro, because you make it to a couple Manning Cup finals, you make it to a couple semi-finals, and it's not like you're getting embarrassed in those games. The thing is, you run up on teams that maybe slightly better than you, especially last year. You run up in a team that where you lost the game in a penalty shootout. Now, had one of those finals gone, stats his way. This year, alright, them bounce at the quarterfinals or whatever. We still not think there's something of a shake up. Especially if they win last year and them come this year and them not go answer at, we say, alright, Philip Williams, come again. But when you think about 6 years of not getting any silverware, it's kind of weird now, because now it can be that you're over the hill.
And
that not look good.
And then, as I said, bro, the thing that I mentioned is in all of those years that Stats was doing well and getting to the semis and getting to the final, they were playing other semis and other finals in December as well.
Yeah.
This Alexander Gooden and Nicola Gale and Jaheen, those boys were playing in semi-finals and finals in under 14 and under 16 level as well. When I look at a couple of age groups now, I'm not seeing any stats. And that's normally what's a good indication, of some. Woolman's doing okay in this year's Manning Cup, and Walker Cup not doing that well, but Woolman's looking to have a lot of talent coming up, getting into 2 semi-finals in the under 14 and under 16 competition, which is always an indication that the team is going to be good in a couple of years, especially with these new ISA restraints.
And especially for them.
Yeah, and
especially for stats.
But I mean, like this Woolman's team with 2 teams in the semis right now, under 14, under 16. This is a constraint. JC can look on them man. KC can look on them man. We know if they are facts the next year and the year after next, and maybe the year after next, Woolman's name a grab. We can know that definitively, and that was the case for Stats in the last 5-6 years. Now, when I see them perform at the youth level, and then them a flame out at the senior level, which had to have been this year, would have had to be in the years.
Yeah. If I was responsible though, I'm gonna think would I blow it up. I think me give Philip Williams another chance. I think me say, all right, let's rebuild. Let's look at what we're not doing right. Because the truth is, bro, and even for me, I rate Philip Williams as a coach. I think Philip Williams can coach. Obviously, this year, you can say them did lack, a little bit of aggression, they lack a little bit of talent also, especially in the attacking third. and then couldn't get across the line. Next year, you give him another chance. So you come again and see where you can come with. Look at Hydel, bro. Hydel, even though you say that it is an indication, whenever you're there or thereabouts in the under 14 or under 16 competition, that you will be doing well in a few years in the under 19 competition.
Yeah, but it's
We also see teams come out of nowhere.
It's also not to say that if you're not doing well in these under 14 teams, you still can do well.
Exactly.
I said, guaranteed, say if you do good in the 14 and 16, you're going to do well. But there are also teams that aren't doing well in 14 and 16 that can still come and do well in. It's not something to hold on to that possibility. When they were a part of the guarantee that if we make it semi-finals and finals in under 14, under 16, then we're going to do well. That was what they were riding on for the last couple of years. Now they must just hope for their turn.
Yeah, and hey man, you recruit man, and you get two, and you get your 3/4 players, and you come, because really actually, sometimes that it come down to when they think about even these two teams in the finals right now, are two teams will have quota issues. Yeah, even JC, KC, all of them man, they have to recruit, bro. You have to get Stats is, and I can remember Stats is not a team that's big on recruiting.
Oh, because nobody goes to Stats.
Yeah.
Nobody goes to Stats.
But nobody went to Mona. Nobody went something.
Mona is different. Mona, because people got to Mona. Mona have players right
Mona
now
fine.
that left from Champion and Georges and
no, that's exactly what I'm saying. Nobody went to Mona. Similarly, how you're speaking about Stats, where nobody necessarily wants to go to Stats.
But don't you think what happened with Mona is a literal 1 in a million situation?
So it is. And if you're going to get in a specifics, Craig Butler and the Phoenix camp, whatever, that something have to start it. And whether that be, the money, whether that, it can be whatever. But recruit and get it.
But not send them Pitney school at Spanish Town Road, bro.
No, man, I feel like if started interest in recruiting players, they would get players. Man, I believe that. They get me, I say. But yeah, enough about stats. Let's talk about JC, who had a very disappointing season. Obviously, starting the competition well. Beat Tivoli in the first game, but got that result overturned. I'm not sure what's going with JC this year. Somehow it looked like they had a few players where they should be playing better football. And I feel like, David and Ferguson would have some questions for answer this year.
Questions to answer the coach and top players not playing up to scratch.
Right. In fact, they're number 10. I'm not sure why.
Giovanni
Taylor. He started well and then just lost form in the middle of the season. I forget dropping at the most important games.
And their top scorer, their central midfielder Dylan John, I don't think he came to the party like we expected him to come to the party. Those goals for them, right? That Dylan John is the only Jamaican international. Bro, we see a country, Orion Watson, a player for Glenn Muir, and we see Bolt Barrett and Ronaldo Barrett and Adrian Reed, bro.
Being top.
Those guys were at the competition recently. All of those names I'm just called a while ago were starters in that under 17 team.
Dylan John wasn't a starter.
Yeah.
Dylan John wasn't a starter. So maybe it showed the exact level. Because those players that you named, those were important players and starters. Dylan John was one of the first substitutes. He was a substitute in that under 17 team, so maybe he's a level or two below, Adrian Reed. In fact, I can comfortably say Dylan John's a level below.
Right? Below. As we say, not only we see both Barrett, he might push Devonta Hodges right now. In that, like, is Devonta Hodges the big defender for Tyrone College? I don't know. You get me a second, both Barrett have pushed that. Ronaldo Barrett. Probably player of the season. You'll see when the awards come through. Orion Watson, carrying team. Yeah, you get me and say next to Adrian Reed. That's what we expected from a Dylan John. Just look more mature and just seriously a cut above it. That's what we're expecting from the international representative. And that's what we've always seen. In the last season we see the Romain Blakes and Malachi Douglas just stand out a cut above it. And we never see that from Dylan John. Even though Dylan John was, I guess, their top scorer come out of the midfield, they have a smoke zone, first and foremost. You get me? I said, when it really mattered, we didn't see big performances from JC's top players, and I think that cost it. No, why we didn't get those types of performances? Why JC never looked super good? Who knows? And I even had questions about Davian Ferguson from last season. But last season, the juggernaut of a team that he had was going to be almost impossible. Right? This season, not so much of a juggernaut because a few of his players were rendered ineligible because of the quota rule. Bro, he didn't look good for the Mount Pleasant assistant coach.
Yeah, it can be said. You know, the thing is, some people will be saying right now that, hey, if you now have the oldest players, the most experienced players, some of the most talented players, it's almost like you can't get the job done. But may I expect JC for bounce back. This is just what JC do. And I can tell you that them have a few players will never represent them this year that will be representing them next year. And JC will be there next year. You know, JC will be there. But when you think about how they bounced in the quarterfinal group, it was not impressive. It was so poor. You know, even though we can safely say now that Hydel is a better team than Jamaica College. They get me and say so. And even though they should have won the Georges game, that goes to the fact that they were just all around poor. They get me and say and that is so uncharacteristic for Jamaica College. You don't expect Jamaica College to get chances against St. George's College in a must-win game. And
Countless chances.
Yeah. That is not the JC when me come for now. That is a weird one.
Not at all.
Yeah, but this is the final. This is the Walker Cup final. Stats versus JC.
And you know what? I think this is exactly what it should have been. You know, I don't think either team were hard done by. I think in the quarterfinal round they were out coached and they were out talented. If that makes sense. Again, as they were outmatched by talent, they were out coached and they deserved to be eliminated.
Yo.
What?
You know, I ran on Judge shameless. The man said JC going home with a trophy. KC eliminated and STGC.
Never video more released for that particular purpose, bro. Because that should not be.
Cause now, Philip Williams, if he wins this game, I can say, hey, I get silverware. And JC, I can say, and get a trophy.
And Vassal Reynolds, the best coach in this year's Manning Cup. You know, I'm going to save it for the awards. But we can't just understand, say, him going to be one of the candidates for coach of the season. Vassal Reynolds. Not going to get no silverware and it's going to be like, oh. No, bro. Philip Williams and Davian Ferguson look for Vassal Reynolds and shake him and say, oh, you do better than me this season. You get me, I said?
Yeah.
And that's why the Walker Cup as it is needs to be played.
Yeah, it's not respected. It's not respected, and it's going to be hard to respect it. Them should have just get a different name, bro. Scrap the Walker Cup and done. And if you have to create this competition, get another name. Yeah. Just like when you get the Super Cup or the Champions Cup, another name, do that.
Agreed.
And it was the perfect time because them change the Super Cup to Champions Cup. Just change the Walker Cup name too.
Agreed.
So now, them are going to win something. We're going to cause a lot of argument because I'm telling you right now, I'm not going to necessarily respect either of these teams winning this competition. Now, last year when Tivoli won it, you know, it was a team that fought hard. They can't say come out of them group. Never quite good enough to make it to the quarterfinal round. Them come up against teams like Georges and all those teams in the Walker Cup. I give them a little notch. I understand them winning it. I give them more props than these two giants winning the Walker Cup. May I be honest with you. I'm not respect it.
My thing is, Tivoli not supposed to can put them. Tivoli is a bad example because Tivoli used to be a big school. But had it not been Tivoli, like let's say if Hillel High had won, Hillel High not supposed to can put them name on chuff beside a Meadowbrook High School the same way. You get me? I say we did win the Walker Cup back then and then.
You don't say that make you salty.
I'm just saying, the Walker Cup it needs to go. But we record a video for fix the Walker Cup. Make a hope. It's a look on video and take it into consideration. But the JCR stats, bro, winning the Walker Cup should be. If them get silverware, every single semi-finalist for the Manning Cup supposed to get silver.
Jaja.
Because making it to the semi-finals is more
It's a big
valuable.
accomplishment. Yeah, I understand that. I agree with you. The finals though, starts JC. How you see it going? These are two teams that we see play, especially in the Manning Cup, the quarterfinal group. Which of these two teams are better?
Oh yeah, bro, and to the point that I was making, both teams were out. You see, Ziggy said it from day one. It creates a statistical, bro, a foolishness because
That makes sense.
JC now, I gotta get one up on Casey and Georgie. JC, I gotta draw them closer. Yeah, we win one, bro.
And you have a lump all of the Walker Cups in a one.
So frustrating.
It don't make sense. It don't make sense.
As we said, there was school like Meadowbrook where managed to win the Walker Cup now, and now it's gonna lose some value now, bro. I don't like it. But the point I'm make, both teams deservingly fell out of the Manning Cup in the quarterfinals. But when they were relegated to the Losers Cup, they went in it and they stamped their authority and they bullied the competition. So one thing it do is reiterate to me that Stats and JC this season, when it's all said and done, we're two bullies.
Yeah.
Right? And I think they both deserve to be where they are right now. The two best teams in the losers competition. Two top losers. And that's what JC and Stats are. And going up against each other, man, I think it will be a humdinger again.
Yeah.
I'm curious about
more Stats win. We just want Stats. More Stats get something, bro.
I'm curious about how they'll approach the game. I'm curious about how they'll approach
They're going to go for winning. Both teams are going to go for winning with the best team.
Like, will this be like a third place fixture? Like just or I don't know.
I how them celebrate after them win.
I'm curious. I'm very
it's not good to say, but more Stats take this one. JC you can't count them out. But I can say though, and watching them this whole season, a two even team. You know, I can't say them far ahead of the other one. In fact, this game probably played out in a jungle penalty shootout. We can see that happen. You see me? So not a glamorous game in terms of talent, but the names, will make it a game that people watch. So that's as much as I'll say in terms of prediction.
No man, a glamorous game in terms of talent, man. What you talk about, man? You have Xavier Gooden and Dylan John and Giovanni Taylor.
But the ball not play. So yeah, them have names. That's probably the wrong thing to say. Them have names, right? But in terms of team play, I'm not excited to see this game. Yeah, but obviously the names are gonna make it something to watch.
Yeah.
You see me? So let's see what I mean in the Walker Cup. We give them 30 minutes of the show. Let's go over to the big game. Enough about Stats and JC. Let's talk about.
You say all roads lead to the Walker Cup.
Yeah. You feel like this is gonna be a bigger game?
At that game, I sell ticket in a stadium. What do you mean? What are you on about?
Where is it? The
2:30.
Walker Cup bigger than
the for the Manning Cup finals.
Jaja.
Oh yeah.
Jaja.
Oh yeah.
Jaja.
Oh yeah. I tell you, say, Mo not gonna bring them people. Hydel not gonna bring them people. But let's just say in the Manning Cup finals, there's going to be more Stats and JC people. We didn't know who them are gonna root for. But there's going to be more Stats and JC in the big game at 6 p.m. I'm certain.
Yeah, that's fair. It's fair to say that. I definitely can see it. But this game is a big game, This Hydel versus Mona game, Cause guess what now? Craig Butler come with vengeance. He believed that he should have been in the Manning Cup finals last year. He feel like him get robbed. And this team, Akim Bernard, Denzel McKenzie, when we interviewed them for the feature, they mentioned the fact that the ref cost last year. So they would have wanted to
Dante
Peralta. Yeah, they want to take the opportunity to get a Manning Cup title. I'm say 2 years ago, people really want to say Craig Butler win this Manning Cup title in the car. He might go say, I am the man. You get me and say, what is there that I can't do? And to be fair, this Mona team is a very talented team, yes. But I can tell you, last year would have been a harder competition to win. Yeah, me I try put it in the most. Me I try put it in the kindest way possible.
Last year would have been a harder competition to win.
Yeah. What do you think about that?
If if things did go different, would them lose 2-1 to JC in the
No,
semi-final?
me not say them should I lose or shouldn't lose. I'm saying the road to the finals or the road to winning the competition would have been harder last year than this year. But what that mean? That don't really mean none. You get me? I said
I don't know. Like as we said, the JC team was a team full of juggernauts. But before coming up against the JC team,
even no man.
I think this
Before coming
season
up
would have
against
been
JC, they did have what?
they
They did
played
have
JC. That was probably the best
JC
team.
and Georges in a
Yeah,
group.
George never good last year. KC team never good neither, in spite of Dejan Richards. So besides that JC team, but as compared to this season now, them quarterfinal group alone, them play against a very good Catherine team, a very good stats team, and a KC team that overachieved. This group of them playing this year way more difficult than the group of them playing last year.
Me don't know. Me
Way
don't think so.
difficult.
Me don't think so.
Them play a
Even though
Georgia team that wasn't good. Then play a KC team where, like, besides Whisper, did all
you
right.
can't say besides Whisper. Whisper is a part of the team.
Yeah,
You
but
can't really say
that,
besides Whisper.
that KC
Whisper,
team the last
they
year
lost that game.
was good like that stats team this year.
They lost that game. Last year KC team beat this stats team. What are you talking about? This year's stats team. You can't say besides Whisper. Whisper was a part of the team. And he was the reason why they were so dangerous.
Yeah,
So-
but I don't think that KC team was.
You think about the players and say all over the park them never have talent, like, but that's fine. Whisper was a part of the team and KC was a big team last year. But as me I say, it really in account for nothing. But just I say last year would have probably be a bit sweeter for Craig Butler than this year. Is what is the point I'm trying to make. But they are coming up against Hydel this year. Let's look at the road to the finals for both teams. Let's start with Hydel. Started in a rough group with KC and Calabar, who, both teams, up until say 2 games out from the group ending, we're giving, every team in the group some trouble. And Hydel beat KC in the first game, obviously got that result reversed and found themselves in some trouble. They went to Calabar, fought, they fought hard and got a result that they needed. Then they went into a must-win. They had 2 games that they needed to win one, eventually getting it across the line, going into the final game against Calabar, knowing that they qualified for the second round. I respected what Hydel did in the first round. Obviously, the quota rule costed them the first game, but Hydel was outstanding in the first round. Me now go downplay that. Talk to me about Hydel's first round performance, because that alone had us saying that Hydel was one of the best teams in competition.
In the first round, a lot of talented players were put on full display. That was something that I took from it. Besides the Ronaldo Barrett that when we first saw, like, oh, Ronaldo Barrett, national representative. All right, him a big baller. But then they had Kylan Smith and Kean Johnson and Omari Henry and Michael Forbes and Jomo Gordon. Just all these players that them just put in front of it, like on show, and I say, yo, wow, like them want some. You get me? And that was what I really took note of in the first round, watching the assortment of talent on this Hydel team. So that was what really impressed me most. I wasn't super satisfied with how they were playing together or how they were being coached. I just thought that it was a super talented group and they put them heads together and then just went down fun and they managed it. That's what I saw in the first one. Just talent.
Yeah. And as I say, it may not have been the prettiest, and I can tell you, having the competition gone this far, we can say Hydel never played them best football in the first round. No. Even though you could have said that they were a good team. They took it up a notch after the first round, for sure. And I can say after the first game in the first round, which wasn't a great one against Excelsior, but after that, Hydel never looked back.
The games were great, to be honest, versus Excelsior.
Huh?
They're never really convinced after them play Excelsior in 2 games.
So right, but me I say after that first game.
The second one was better, but still, the second one was as good as we've seen in the first round. So I really and truly in the quarterfinals now when we are saying, whoa, what is them coming from against this? That was the first time I was really blown away by this Hydel team. So seeing them in the first game against Excelsior, I said, this won't do. The second game against Excelsior, I said,
all right, better.
I don't think this will do either. You know, like them doing enough to get past Excelsior, but I still don't think this will. When them come out against JC and put on the ball on the ground and play some football, and they seem like they were well coached and they did exactly what it seemed like the coach wanted them to do, and they played tactically and strategically. They managed the game well. They took their opportunity. That JC game was like this Hydel team is a contender. And that was the first game that I really saw them truly as a contender.
Yeah, and they shocked JC. Yeah, they shocked JC. Obviously, JC had a lot of the ball, but they created the better chances. They created more chances than JC, and ultimately they deserved the result that they got. They beat JC on their home turf. You know, obviously, by the way, Hydel travel pretty decent, you know.
Yeah.
You know, because me I think about that game there, yeah, the JC fans didn't full up the main stands, but behind the goal was a lot of the Hydel fans.
Mm-hmm.
So they came with their fans and them shot JC and they were pretty confident. You know, they never seemed like the moment bigger than them. They never seemed starstruck by this JC team or not, even though, to be fair, Ronaldo Barrett just as big as any player, bigger than every player in a JC team. Yeah. Michael Forbes would have been very sure about himself. Henry was very sure about himself. Johnson playing at the Premier League. Like, these players are big players. They get me and them come and them shot JC, and JC just never have no answer for them. You see me? So kudos to them for getting that done. Then was in their group. JC then Georges they played. They played Georges in the second game where they were just better than Georges. Them come out and them did aggressive.
This Georges match now was when I was like, all right, and Mona favorites to win the Money Cup. like this Georges match was when I was like, okay.
Yeah.
At one point where I hype up this Georges team coming into the second round, and Hydel just kicked them all over the place. Hydel kicked themselves on the ass by not finishing their chance.
Mm-hmm.
Hydel literally kicked Georges upside the ass, and Georges get a late equalizer for go with a point. That's what Georges did. All a point.
Mm-hmm.
So that was.
Hydel was clearly the better team.
Oh yeah, all over the park.
And by far too.
Yeah, in every possible way.
Yeah, so they went into that game, never quite get the result that they needed, but everybody knew that when Hydel played, Tivoli would have been out, they would have been the better team, blah blah blah. Done and dusted because Tivoli lost to JC in the game that was playing at the same time. Yeah. So then they went into the last game of the quarterfinal round against Tivoli Gardens High School over at Prison Oval and just routine. They didn't have their best defender. Just make light work at Tivoli. And it wasn't even their best game.
Them never go past third gear. They weren't trying to have the best game.
Yeah.
I can tell you that. It didn't even feel like a serious match.
Yeah.
At this point was when I knew that Hydel were super confident and well oiled and well agreed. Turning up to this fixture, more like a formality. Yeah. I was saying something yesterday in the match, in the video with that about Reggae Boys, how them show up to Guatemala and how the Guatemala game should have been. You know, it was the same as how this Hydel game was. Like quarterfinal game, Hydel go, them ramp up, make 2 passes, score a couple goals, come off. After the match done, then what? You get me? I say, then what? Yeah. What next? That was what was on their heads. Not, oh my God, we just qualified to the... No, it was, what next? Then what? And they truly showed poise and character in that Tivoli match. And they weren't complacent. They got the job done. And then they backed it up. Almost as though a heat in 100 meters at the Olympics. You know, you come out of the blocks, push up a couple of strides in the drive phase, lift up your head, finish through the line. Nice and easy. And that's exactly what they did against that Tivoli team.
Yeah, and at this point now we are looking at Hydel like, whoa. Even though we would have known that this is a good team, and as I said, especially after that JC and George's game, we are saying, all right, Hydel serious. when the quarterfinals done, at this point now, we don't see many teams that can beat this Hydel team. And we're confident now that put Hydel in front of anybody and then I'll give them a challenge. You see me? They then went into the semi-finals. Who are they playing in the semi-finals? KC.
Yep.
Played KC in the semi-finals. And obviously, KC has to give you a run for your money because that's just what KC do. But we can tell him.
Bro.
Hydel better than KC. But KC just ridiculous with competing, bro.
The match
like how KC get a 2-2 versus Hydel.
The match started and Hydel were all over Kingston College.
Yeah.
Hydel were all over Kingston. Amari Henry scoring probably the goal of the season. Jesus Christ. What a goal, in score in that game. But they're all over Kingston College and them gear up and then I think them a cruise in a fourth gear and then Kingston College come out and manage to get a goal back and then you see the youth start creeping in a Hydel. They get messed. They did panic for a bit and that was the first time seeing them unsettled and then losing that second goal. Unfortunately having to do it in penalty shootout, but Hydel were all over KC. KC fought and scratched and clawed and managed to get something out of this game. It would have been yet another undeserving, well-deserved point for Kingston College had it not been an elimination match. Because that's just how you feel about this KC. Undeserving, well-deserved. It's an oxymoron, but you have to understand what I mean. They have no place or business getting any type of result against that Hydel team on that day. And yet still they managed to catch up. But the penalty shootout, Hydel.
5-4.
Hydel were composed. Hydel they never looked like they were gonna miss any penalty at all. Like it wasn't that thing. They just come up and just bang in the penalties as though you've been here, done that. They never looked like they have no nerves at all about it. And I said, whoa, you them confident, you them a big baller, and you them ready.
Yeah, I agree with you. And as I said, this goes to even the point that you're making about Buster Reynolds. Him just get him team for do what they're not supposed to do. Talent, player for player, and talent. This KC team are then near Hydel. You get me? I say, but somehow
or none of the other teams right. that were in the semi-final.
Right, but somehow, they manage. You put up a fight against him and was one penalty away. How? We can't explain it more than just saying they are just champions, they are just winners, and the culture there is just different. But this Hydel team though, got the job done, deservedly so, and moved on to the finals. That's an Hydel journey. When you see how comprehensively cover it because we know exactly what God knows schoolboy football, especially in the Manning Cup. Mona time. They started this year. Secret Butler at the top of the schoolboy football season. And he say, we're going to win. I don't think you were there when we go the Reggae Boys press conference and the training session. Man say, you want for your team this year. Man say, we're going to win. I say, that I tell me every year, still no father. The man say, no man. We're going to win. You get what I say? And they're in the finals now. Let's do a quick recap of their journey. They started, with an alright group. They got the hardest group the hardest team in their group was St. Catherine High. Where Mona they went and beat in their group. They made light work of most people, and only St. Catherine challenged them.
Not only unbeaten, they went perfect.
Yeah.
And I think the only perfect team going into the Manning Cup second round. Or was George's perfect as well?
I think George's was perfect.
George never dropped no points on at all.
I don't think so, but could be wrong. But that
went to the perfect, getting the double on Catherine and making light work at everybody else.
Would them have team like Norman Manley and I think probably Edith or something like that. But no team was a challenge for Mona in this group stage. But St. Catherine pushed them, especially in that first game at Mona. St. Catherine pushed them, the rain come down, them cause chaos, them rough them up. And Denzel McKenzie, who safe to say is one of the best players in this year's competition, rose to the occasion. He actually does that quite often for Mona. And win them the game. And as long as St. Catherine never caused them a problem in terms of taking points off of them, it was known that Mona would have made it to the second round. And on to the second round they went, where they played Jonathan Grant in a two-legged tie. In the second round game, beat them. It was almost too easy for them. First game at Prison Over, we were at that game. Again, too easy. Them scoring like the first minute. We actually missed the goal, but then we come out here and say, yo, them scoring like the first minute. And I say, yo, what? How? You see me? And I think they won that game 4-1 or 4-0. Then they played the return fixture again. Jonathan Grant no match for them. And then beat them again. Jonathan Grant now bounce into the Walker Cup. Mona advanced into the quarter-final group where they met up against Stats. What's in another group there? KC. And who else?
That's Casey and Catherine again.
Stats, Casey, and Catherine. Right. This was the group now. This now where Mona start confuse me. Because a lot of these teams now, we try never put too much weight on the first round, but then you try and watch the football with them play. And I can tell you, yeah, Mona did just better than everybody. It wasn't that they were playing great football. They were just the more talented team in all of the games that they were playing. Some games they were playing good football, some games they weren't. So they were very inconsistent. Then I saw Mona against Kingston College, where yes, they created chances, but in the second half of the game, they just looked all over the place. Couldn't manage to create much chances in the second half of the game. KC steal it. I said, why is this Mona team so inconsistent? Couldn't put 10 passes together. I said, boy, Mona confused me.
And keep missing penalties.
I said, this is not how we win the Manning Cup. This is not how you win the Manning Cup. But they managed to escape the group. You remain confident in them. You just honestly believe, and maybe you can talk a bit more about that. That just the best players are gonna make it where they need to get to.
Yeah, and I firmly believe that in this group, though having a Stats who at this point, especially based on how Mona started against Kingston College, would have been heavily favorites to not only top this quarterfinal zone, but to go on and win the Manning Cup. At this point. But I believe that even though Stats was in this group, Mona still had the best footballers. And I think in schoolboy football, the best and most experienced footballers oftentimes will reign supreme. And that's exactly what we saw. But not before them blundering again against St. Catherine High School at Jamaica College. Another lackluster performance by Mona, missing yet another penalty. With a different penalty taker. And just going out to a lead and then just relinquishing it in a soft way and not managing to convert on opportunities and just put a good passage of play together. And I think going into the last game against Stats, needing a win, many people counted them out. Especially considering that Stats were going to be playing at Anthony Spalding Sporting Complex.
And Stats also blundered in the KC game.
Yeah.
But I call it a blunder same way. KC make it to semi-finals.
Bro,
but Stats was expected to win that game.
Yes. Stats
have the chances.
Never really get to watch the KC game, but me hear say KC come out and score and KC play impact and tight for the whole game. So when a team come out and defend well, I can't say a team done. Because it's not a case where Stats did have one all the shots on target.
Yeah.
So when a team come out and just
Stats hit the post.
They hit the post a couple of times. Yeah, I hit the post like 2 or 3 times. But besides that,
I just KC, bro. KC just take points off of them. I just saw it go. But the final game though, Stats confusing me to this point. Not watching a full game Mona confusing me. Not watching a full game of Stats, but just expecting them to be, well coached and well oiled. But they got shocked by Mona. Mona come out ready to take away the 3 points from them, and that they did. Got the job done in the first half, and then just say, hey, you need 3 goals, come. Yeah, and them just couldn't do it. Stats just couldn't break them down.
Stats looked. Mona at the uptown school, quote unquote, tell them they're right in a Mona. But Stats look like the uptown team on the day. Stats just look cute and pretty, and Mona look like they were gritty and wanted it more. The Mona were first to all the 50-50 balls. Mona were making all the tackles. Mona got stuck in. Mona seemed aggressive. Mona seemed direct and determined and played exactly what they needed to play in order to go out and get 2 goals. And getting a penalty at the end of the half, which could have possibly made it 3-0 before half time. Mona missing yet another penalty. So in 3 quarterfinal games, Mona missing a penalty in each of those games. Bro, that's unheard of. What?
No makes sense.
But Mona going in, going out to 2 early goals and stats with the talent that they have this season or lack thereof up front, there's no way they're going to score on Akeem Bernard and Robina Gordon. Robina Gordon and Carlton Brown. And they've never did come back and score on that defense. It wasn't going to happen. And Mona came out, they played down the ball and locked shot for 45 minutes. Winning the game.
And no, we're at a situation where, and I said it to Craig Butler after this group. Mona, him can't say anything. Mentally, I don't think Mona go comfortable in a penalty shootout with Hydel.
No.
Because Hydel, the last penalty shootout we see them in a flawless. And then Mona missed penalty for fun. Which is a weird thing to say because a beer ball of them are, but everybody just seem to miss penalties. So despite everybody. No, everybody. Me I talk about even Denzel McKenzie, who that never even makes sense. But because everybody.
Denzel McKenzie this season, the man in Cup kick the free kick them like penalty.
Nah, sure you. And then they have Romario and Thomas on the field too, who's another very good striker on the ball. It's just weird. But everybody have missed penalties. Me not think Mona wants a penalty shootout with Hydel. Because if you go down to that, chances are Hydel will win. No.
When you think about a penalty shootout lineup for Mona, you probably think, alright, Denzel will keep the first one. And then Romario and Thomas will keep the second one. Then probably Robina Gordon will keep the third. Then probably Dante Peralta. Maybe. Keep the fourth and Akeem Bernard.
Akeem Bernard will get one.
All 5 of those players missing penalties.
All 5. All 5. And after that, is a fall off. You get me I say? So, again, I don't think Mona wants to see a penalty shootout with Hydel. And then when you think about Hydel penalty kickers, again, look back at the KC game. Them score them penalty.
The Barrett will kick first and will score Omar and Thomas and Omar and Henry. What's going on? Henry, and then you have Joe Gordon, the next one who seemed very composed at the kick, Kian Johnson. And the next
Henry, the next Henry, number 9 or 13.
He was the next one who step up and convert on feet. And that's just how Hydel got to work. Players that you will trust on a dead ball. Those players that are called from Mona, you think that you trust them on a dead ball. It's again at the back of their mind if you get to penalty.
Not so. Hydel, Mona took on Georges in the semi-finals. Beat them. Georges put up a fight, but Mona was just better. Mona start playing some football now.
As I said, Mona were better and they almost battled it. Mm-hmm. They had more of the ball. They were playing better. And out of nowhere, like Zabir Taylor ended up on top of the box and managed to score. I think Hakeem should have done better. But good goal to Zabir Taylor. Getting his... Well, it was ruled as an own goal, ultimately. He hit the post and come back and hit the back at Akeem Bernard. So poor Zabir, finishing the man without a goal to his name for this whole season. But yeah, Mona had more of the ball. Mona were the better team. Mona had the better opportunities. You have to convert on their opportunities, man. You have to convert on their opportunities. And it came down to a last gasp free kick from Denzel Washington McKenzie. It shouldn't have come down to that. But it's a final.
Yeah.
Those happen.
Yeah, it happens. And no, going into this game, both teams, especially Hydel, will be confident about their chances to win the Manning Cup. No, none of these teams will be afraid of the next. Both of them will give themselves very good chances. And I'm expecting this to be a very good game. This is a big game. You get me? I want to see what Hydel have to offer. I want to see them players that will turn up. I haven't seen Hydel shy away from the moment. Every big game Hydel play, them turn up and them do what them need to do. Um, Mona, I get the job done, but I still think Mona can play better. But somehow it feels like Mona now should get it across the line. No, it feels like um, Mona should turn up and get the job done. No, I don't have match winners just like Mona. You talk about Denzel, you talk about Robina Garden and all those players. Hydel have match winners too. You talk about Henry. You know, a player who is so electric, bro. When you talk about the best players in this year's Manning Cup, you can't go around him.
One of the candidates for player this season.
Yeah, so
Hydel off the bat of 3 candidates for player this season. Off the bat. So yeah, it's going to be a finals, and I think this is absolutely the matchup that should have been the finals. I think these are the 2 best teams in the Manning Cup, and these are the 2 most deserving teams. And the 2 best teams got to the finals.
yeah.
Like for example, KC could have beat Hydel on penalties, and then we'd have been like, KC deserve to be here, but it wouldn't be the best 2 teams in the finals.
Yeah.
Hydel and Mona are the 2 best teams in the Manning Cup. Better than Stats, better than JC, better than Jack.
Yeah, man, the 2 most talented teams, the two teams where, as I said, deserve to be there. These 2 teams actually deserve them spot in the finals. And again, me as I say, me don't know if that game have no favorite. Me don't know. We say a team for this year's Manning Cup is that the competition even across the board, especially in the latter parts. And in my opinion, this is a very even finals. You know, and it can't go any way. You know, so right now it just come down to, you know, a lot of times a sports cliche is who want it more. Sometimes you can't want it, bro. You still know it. You can't want it more than me, but unless you go out there and do what you're supposed to, you're not going to get it. You know, but this might be one of those games where it will come down to mentality, it will come down to heart, it will come down to aggression, and it will come down to taking your chances, which Mona is a bit wasteful in front of goal, and I can't say the same for Hydel. You know, so on the day, let's see if you got the penalty shootout, though. I run go down and just let me put everything me have in my name for Hydel. I tell you that straight. Who you favor right now? I favor Mona, but as I said, there is a world where Hydel win this game.
Coming into the season, my selection to win the Manning Cup was Mona High School.
You can't go back now.
I thought that this was the season that them would have get across the line. I still think this will be the season that they'll get across the line. But, bro,
Hydel good.
Hydel good. Hydel good. So, I'm just curious. But as I said, I picked Mona at the beginning of the season. Before a ball was kicked, I said Mona would have won the Manning Cup. And, you know, I'm still in with a shot to get my prediction right.
Yeah. Again, it will be a good game, people. Tomorrow, the first game will be the Walker Cup Finals. Stats versus Jamaica College. Second game, the big one, will be Hydel versus Mona High School. 2 very good games. You know, I'm expecting the crowd. Which part of it? National Stadium, right?
Sir.
Probably. Why did never go back at Baina? You know, last year finals they keep a Baina, and that was a pretty good atmosphere. Right?
Well,
no. Yeah. Last year finals keep a Baina.
Yeah.
Last year finals keep a Baina. Right after the Walker Cup.
Yeah.
Well, so, but it is what it is.
The mecca of Jamaican football, you know, 4 games back to back at the stadium on Friday and Saturday, and then the Olivia Shield, which actually we played at Kenya apparently. But yeah, so we just can't wait.
Yeah, let's see what happens. We will be there. This Sports TV will be there. Look out for post-game interviews. Look out for all the content about the game. Hopefully, can probably do a live match. May I see if we can set up something where me probably call in the National Stadium and see what I go on. But big deal, big game. Manning Cup is drawing to an end. All good thing must come to an end again. It was a good season. A balanced season. A lot of good players. Look out, we will be wrapping up the season altogether. We'll be talking about the best players and the best coach and saying who was the surprise team and all of that. Who was the young player of the season. All of that. Look out for that content, people. And with that still, look out for our video. I'll probably drop it 9:90 too. What time now? 7:44? Yeah, look out for a video of Joe Mar breaking down the Walker Cup, telling you all its flaws and how to improve it.
Fixing it, bro. Not even not fixing the Walker Cup. The
That
Walker
was it,
Cup,
how to improve
right
it.
now as it is rubbish. Just make her break it down. Here, top of people, I'm going to tell you now to do it. I'm wanting to like spam the video and send it to all the powers involved. So next season, you can do the right thing.
All right, look out for that. Big up everybody in the comment section except Tashima Thompson. Big up everybody and have an opinion, and I have my opinion to tell me say madness. Big up on yourself. Before you go, don't forget to like the video, leave a comment, and subscribe to this Hydel Sports TV. And the one more thing first, though.
Share the video to at least 10 people to ensure to get us 6 subscribers. Because if each and every one of you guys can manage to do that, you know how many subscribers I get by the end of the day, people.
Yeah, one will leave. But for now, this was this or that Sports TV.
Gonna go to Copa America. Jam, my father.
Gone, my gone.